Hello, everyone. We are live, and today is Thursday, and we are having another awesome interview. So, thank you for being here. Before we start the interview, let's do a few housekeeping tips. If you are joining us live, down in the comments, hashtag live, or if you're watching the replay, down in the comments, hashtag replay. And also, one more thing that's really important above the video here, or maybe perhaps it's below, there's a strip that says StreamYard. If you click on that, it will give permission to StreamYard to use your name. And that way you can interact with us and we know with whom we're speaking. Okay. If not, then you will come across as a Facebook user and we'll just have to call you Facebook user, which we really don't want to do. And also, if you're not wanting to interact or you just want to react, then send us some beautiful hearts because we love hearts. So let me tell you what my guest and I have in common. Well, first of all, we met, we were both introduced by a member by a client of mine who is part of our Launch Lab Academy. And so we were introduced, and I saw that they had interviewed one another. And I was so fascinated by this person's story that I just wanted to, you know, interview him. And so we touched base. And then I found out that we had a few things in common. We both are kind of a mixture from three cultures. I've got Mexican, French Canadian, American because I was born in French Canada. I moved to the U.S. at the age of 21, and I retired to Mexico. Now, my guess, the three cultures are German, French, and American. Born in France, moved to Germany, and so without any further ado, meet my guest, Dominique Bouyer. How are you, Dominique?
Hi, Lucy. Hi, everybody. I'm doing very well. Thank you. I hope you too.
My God, where are you now? Could you tell
Right
us
now,
where
I'm in Frankfurt, Germany.
you're in Frankfurt, Germany? Now, I know you weren't born there, you were born in France. So, why did you run off and go to Germany? Can you tell us a little bit
Oh,
about that?
that's a long story, but
Give
I
us a
have
short
got a short
story.
version of
Give
it.
us a short story of it.
The short version is I studied in France at the boundary with Germany, which is Strasbourg, and I had a girlfriend at that time who was from Austria, so she was speaking German. And then I had to do my military service because at that time it was still compulsory in France. No, it's no longer. It stopped
Mhm.
3 years later. And so there was a possibility instead of doing this to work for a French company abroad. And then, of course, I decided to work in Germany to learn German. So I found one. I arrived here, and 1 week before I arrived, I broke up with my girlfriend. So I had to be here anyway.
So that's how you ended up in Germany. I
And
love your
that's how I
Dominique. I
ended
love
up
your
in
laugh.
Germany.
I just love your laugh. You're just a
Uh,
very you find things very very funny all the time. So we're
yeah.
going to talk about that laugh. Let's talk about you were given. This is fascinating. This is an unbelievable story because you were given 3 months to live.
Yeah.
Yet not only did you survive, but you're thriving in your life and in your business. Can you share with us or my audience the pivotal moment or the moment at which you realize uh, that ignited your incredible transformation?
Yeah, let me recall. It was a very gray and cold day. I was lying on my bed in the palliative department of the hospital, and I've been there for about 1.5 months because I arrived there like early December 2018. I wanted to do some blood works, get blood works done, and at the end, she just took my blood, and then the nurse told me, "You're not going home like that, are you?" I say, "Why?" At that time I was like 50 kilo. It's about 100 pounds, something like that, and I had only the skin on the bones. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I had pain 24/7. I couldn't drink. I was on TPN, this artificial supply of food,
Right.
and I was a rack, a total rack, and I was like losing 2 more kilos, which is 4 more pounds every week,
Wow.
and so I say, of course I'm going home. I have my car here, so on the parking lot. And so I said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. No, you're not. I said, well, I am. I stay up. And then I realized, oh, it gets totally dizzy. I
And you
sit back
crash.
down. I say, okay, I'm staying. so,
Oh my
so
God.
then I go. They open a room for me in the hospital, and next day the oncologist come and looks at me and everything. The figures look, Mr. Bouyer, I gotta tell you something. You've got a tumor. It's like at least 6 kilo big. It's like 20 by 20 by 15 centimeter in your belly. Look at you. You look like a pregnant woman in the 11th month with twins,
Oh my God.
and that's a cancer tumor. And the thing is, you're dying from it. And so now you told us you didn't want to do chemotherapy, but that's the only thing I can offer you. And if we don't do it, I give you 3 months, maybe six, but that's it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Uh,
Dominique,
and
may I ask you something? Is your volume turned up because it's really kind of hard for me to hear you?
it is. I can do something. Wait.
I don't know if anybody else is having a hard
And
time.
usually it's very good. It's only my Mac, and the Mac is a very good quality on the sound.
Usually, right.
Yeah.
So Denise Yonkers is with us, and she says peace and blessings,
Thank
Dominique.
you, Denise. Yeah, I see that. Thank you very much. So now I'm doing much better, but I had hard times.
Oh my
And
God.
so if you can hear me, I continue. If not, I have a lavalier microphone that I can put here. But basically,
I think maybe because I'm having a hard time a
all
little
right.
bit.
You give me one
Denise, are you
second.
having a hard time hearing um, Dominique, or is it clear to you? Go get it,
Let me
Dominique.
get it.
Yeah, yeah. So while Dominique is getting it, all right, he was just telling us about how he found out that he had 3 months to live, and so yeah. Okay, so we have a Facebook user that says I can hear him well. Okay, so that's good. Facebook user, would you go above where you see StreamYard and click on that and give them permission to use your name so we know with whom we're speaking? So, um, Dominique, thank you for being so flexible and getting, perhaps it's me, perhaps it's just me
We'll
having a,
see if it works. We'll test it. Just let me know. I'm going to connect it right now. Okay. So
oh, much better, much better. Thank you so
much
very much.
better.
Oh, yes, much
All right.
better. Do you agree,
Okay.
Denise? And our Facebook user, say something to us. Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm here.
So, Dominique,
Okay.
that must have been a realization like, oh my God, what? So, um,
Yeah, this was tough because I've been trying to prevent getting a chemotherapy for the last 7 years, and I've been doing maybe 50 different types of alternative therapies, and I got quite some success with two or three of them. I really got rid of my tumors, and the only thing is each time it came back like 8 months later and started again. So I looked for something else, and then I found one, and I got rid of the next one, and then it came back
right,
again, and at the end just couldn't get rid of it, and I didn't have the money anymore, and I was getting weaker and weaker, and I had to work uh, to make always more money in less time to have more time for the treatments. So at the end, it was just uh, it was something I couldn't win. Yeah, and so then he told me that, and I had to take a decision basically because it was either I try that or that's it anyway.
right.
So, and I have never been the type. I'm not a quitter, so that
You're
was
not a
no
quitter.
option for me,
Hmm.
you know. And so I said no. Okay, but then he said, "Look, I'm gonna offer you something because actually, to be really honest, you're so screwed. your liver and your kidneys are so weak and such in a bad condition that we're gonna do something for you if you want. We're gonna give you only one product out of three of the standard protocol, and we're gonna give you only 25% instead of 100% of the dosage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, that sounds like a deal.
Yeah, right.
That's really the only thing that could make me say okay. So we started like that. I will always remember this day. It was the 28th of December 2018, and was one product only and 25% of the dosage. And somehow it looked like it worked, and I had no side effect. And 1 month later, we did the second round, and it worked too. And after 2 months, we did a new CT scan, and we could see like 20% of the tumor is gone, and I was doing okay. So it was quite positive. Then they said, "Can we put one more product and two products and 50%?" I said, "Okay." When something works well, you can strengthen it so that it works even better. So
Right.
that's I always used all the time. By the way, I'm a business consultant. I consult, I advise dentists, and I help them grow their business.
Right.
And I've always used my knowledge in statistics and management for managing myself and my own health as well. so and I have two rules. When it goes down, you need to change something, and
That's
when it
right.
goes up, don't
You need
change
to
anything, just strengthen it.
do more of it. Do more of it. Right.
Even more of it.
Okay.
so
So,
and that's what I did. And then, but still, he gave me this ultimatum, and I remember about 2.5 months later, like it was 20th of February. So I was lying on my bed, and it was a very gray day, like it could have been snowing. And I had a look at the tree, totally leaflet, like a typical winter gray day. And I was thinking, I've got nothing left. I lost my girlfriend 1 year ago. We broke up. And then I lost my 13 years long business partner in December because I was not able to work anymore. I have no more money, spent everything I have, and I have just nothing left, just my daughter. And then I realized, what the hell are you saying? Yeah, what? And I have nothing left. I don't even have a goal left. What? You don't have a goal? That's not okay. How do you want the dogs to save you if you don't have a goal? Yeah, to be true. I was talking to myself like a monologue,
yeah, right.
To be true, the idea of being saved and then ending up under the bridge is not really something that makes me happy,
Right.
And then I realized, hey, they will never be able to help me if I'm in this state of mind.
Right.
I need to change this mindset, and I need to start creating for my life.
Wow.
I have a daughter. She's 19-year-old. She wants to finish her baccalaureate abitur, which is kind of A levels or whatever, and then go to college next year. She's counting on me, and I can't do that. So start. So then I took my phone in my hand, and I went to Facebook, and I was just watching, and then I see one friend who says, you should start a business with Amazon." So Amazon, well, I've been coaching people selling products. But then I looked at it and said, yeah, actually, it's good because I don't have to sell anything one on one with people. I don't
Right.
have to train people, to coach people. I can work from basically my house, which was the hospital,
Right.
the palliative department in the hospital. I can even work from my bed because I have my laptop there.
Wow.
And I can even, like I used to be totally gone during the day, and I would be a little bit more night active. And then I can even work during the night, and nobody cares. So, and I do have some knowledge of, like, you need a lot of knowledge with keywords and paid ad campaigns and things like that
Right.
on Amazon. I said, I've got that. I've done a lot of stuff for dentists and SEO, search engine optimization and all that. Yeah, okay. But I can't do alone because if I die, it's not good. So actually, I have to get my daughter on board. So she needs to become actually she needs to start her company on her name, and I'm gonna coach her, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we're gonna make it. So then I call her, say, "Hi, Alice, how you doing? Yeah, good, good. Hi, Dad. Got a great idea. What about starting a company? You, uh, crickets."
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, well, Dad, I want to study musical. That's like singing, dancing, acting. Starting a company, not really my thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I said, look, Alice, at that time, it was 2018. It was the Me Too movement and Weinstein and all that stuff. And so, look, Alice, yeah, you've heard about this Weinstein stuff. You know what happens to young girls who just finished the studies of acting. You are craving, you have no money, you would do whatever anybody wants from you. And I don't want you to be in this situation.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is, look, because you want to be acting, well, maybe you will have to do like a business thrillers. And it's good if you have some knowledge about how to run a business. So what about that? I'm gonna teach you everything. I can do it. That's my job. I grow companies. Okay.
So she went for it. Yeah.
You went for it. And that's how we started. And that was the beginning of the story of me starting a completely new business while I was dying, like about 2 weeks before the end of the ultimatum of 3 months.
Wow. And
And
there
then
you are starting a company with your daughter.
yeah, and then I had no money, but I remember I had a 401k.
Uh,
Uh, So I called the insurance company next day. I said, "Look, how much money is there?" It was very little, but something like 10,000 or 11,000.
right.
I say, "Okay, can I just get it?" So yeah, you have to send us a letter, and then 30 days later we will transfer the money. Okay, I'm doing this. So next day I send a letter, and because I realized if I want to start the business, first I need to get some knowledge, and there was a course. It was $6,000.
Oh,
So I went totally all in. The last thing I had, this was the only thing that was remaining. It just
well,
that was it.
I mean, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
and then and then I immediately booked the course because it was I had to pay a plan. It was only $500 per month for 12 months. So I said, okay, let's start with that. The next thing we did is calling a lawyer to incorporate the company. It's a little bit more complicated in Germany than it is in the US.
mhm.
And the lawyer hears our story and says, "Oh my God, it's so sweet, and that you're trying to starting a business now. I want to help you for free." It was like, what?
Wow.
But then it did nothing. Everyone was trying to call him and say, "Hey, what about our contract and the stuff? And when do we do it?" And say,
Right.
"Yeah." After 2 months, I had to drop him, and that's where I realized, everything that you get for free, you get nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
So
paid. Yeah.
yeah, that's how you earn. So then we found another one, and we started the company. It was already the 1st of July, 2019. And then my daughter and I was at the hospital the whole time, and she would come to me after she finished the school, and we would spend the whole day from the morning at 9 to the evening, sometimes 11 or 12, and creating the business.
Wow.
She
In
and
the
me.
hospital. In the
Yeah, and we're
hospital.
doing a business plan. Yeah. And
And you're on your deathbed. And you're creating the. There you are laughing again. I just.
instead of her going on holiday, because she
Right.
wasn't on summer holiday, instead of going, she was stayed with me, and we went for it.
Hmm.
And then, but we realized, oh my God, we just can't find any good product, and the product is key on Amazon. If the product is not good, you can forget it.
Right.
And then I called a friend of mine who is in Florida, and she told me, yeah, I got an idea. You could go to the Canton Fair. It's the biggest fair in the world where you can meet lots of Chinese companies who can produce your own product with your brand name on it. That's called a white label.
Hmm.
And they have a special program. You go 14 days there, and you get every day you go on the fair, and the evening you get coachings and whatever, top guys
Right.
helping you. And they say, yeah, how much does it cost? Well, $6,000. Don't have it. Plus the flight. And it was like 1,500 per person. And then I say, Anne, I can't go alone because at that time I was in a wheelchair. I was so
Right.
weak I couldn't walk. Then I say, look, Alice, anyway, we've got the business together, and so we go together or never.
Wow.
So then I had to find the funds. I said, look, wait, I'm gonna, first person who came into my mind, my ex-girlfriend. So I call her. I say, hi, look, I need $6,000. Can you lend them? Yeah, sure. Okay. That's how I got it. So they say, Alice, we're flying to China. So then we had to organize everything. And a few weeks before we fly, at that time, I had stents also between my kidneys and my bladder, and because it was just not working correctly, and I had a I had to have every 2 weeks a new surgery to replace the stents because I had so much calcium and stuff like that. It was jammed the stent. It's a
Wow.
plastic tube. It would be totally jammed after 2 weeks. It had to be changed with the general anesthesia every 2 weeks. And and at the same
But you
time, I
were in
was also,
China.
no, I was in Germany before I flew to China,
Oh, okay.
just before. At the same time, I also had to have every 4 weeks my chemotherapy round.
Mm-hmm.
And in July, I did both of them. Like, I got the surgery, and the day after I got the chemotherapy, and then I got a terrible polyneuropathy actually in the rectum, which
Oh,
means my ass burns each time I eat any kind of sugar, hot stuff, whatever. And I didn't know what makes it burn at that time, but I just knew it was terrible. I was in pain so much. I had to be put on morphine because of this,
oh.
and I had to take 3 times a day 10 milligram morphine, and it was not even enough to cover the pain. And at that time, I didn't know what make it worse. So I didn't know that when I was eating a salad, just the dressing, because it was sugar in it, or vinegar, it would make it worse. Some
Mm-hmm.
drugs would make it terribly worse. Uh, uh, i- all these things, but I didn't know at that time. So I just ate what I was given in the hospital, and it was actually the wrong thing to take.
And they were
So
giving you the wrong food.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I go to the surgery because I planned to have the surgery just 1 week before I fly to China, so that I have enough time, and then when I come back to China, I'm gonna get the next one. So, and I get the surgery, and then the oncologist says, so now we do the chemotherapy. I say, no, 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 I did that in July. It was very bad. I don't want any more polyneuropathy. So we're gonna wait 1 week, and we're gonna do the chemotherapy just before I leave for China. She said, "No, I can't do this next week because I'm on holiday. I'm not here, so it's now or in 2 weeks." I said, "Well, in 2 weeks I can't because I'm in China." You what? Yeah, I'm in China. What the hell are you gonna do in China? In your state? Well, I have to do some business. I have to live. Are you crazy?
So the
But
doctors thought you were
you know
nuts.
what? That's your life. And I thought, you're damn right. And so I didn't get chemotherapy, and I had a break of 1 month, 1.5 months. And what next thing is, I sit in the plane with my daughter, and we're flying to China. And she was pushing me around in the Canton Fair, which is the biggest fair of the world, on my wheelchair. It was great. We had the best time of our life.
Well, I'm so happy you were able to see the happy side of it. I mean, Dominic, ever since I've known you, you smile and you laugh. What makes you so happy? I mean, here you are on your deathbed, on your death chair, wheelchair, really, on your, in China with your daughter, trying to build this business so that because you know that you have a certain amount of time to live and you want your daughter to be taken care of. I mean, tell me, what role did the mindset and the self-belief play in your ability to persevere this way and
Yeah, it's
ultimately
it's
thrive,
it's
because
very
you're
it's
thriving
very
now?
important. I mean,
Hmm?
I'm lucky. I have to say this, but lucky, it's like it's always the same. You've got luck
Right,
because you work for luck.
right.
so, so I've been working for my luck the last 40 years. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of personal development, spiritual development, all kind of things, and I spent thousands and thousands of hours and days, like learning on average 1 day per week for the last 35 years, and doing also a lot of spiritual enhancement and development at the same time. So I got rid of the thing in the mind that makes you always fear the future and
Hmm.
think at the past. So I'm pretty much in the present time, and that helps a lot. And it helped me tremendously as I was doing very bad, because as I was in pain, well, I was feeling the pain like anybody else, and it is really no fun. But
Right.
I know it's just now, and maybe in 5 minutes it's better, and it just needs to be a little bit better. 1 millimeter better, and then you get more hope. And then 5 minutes later, it's a little bit better, and then half an hour later, the pain is down to a level that you can somehow get up, eat whatever, and life looks totally different. So, but I remember I had really hard times. Like I had uh, Christmas 2020. We were also in the pandemics, and there was lockdowns and everything. And I was alone here in Germany. My whole family is in France, and I had to spend Christmas here alone. I was in pain like crazy. The morphine would not do anything. I was on the hospital until the 23rd. Then they threw me out because it was Christmas,
Oh my God.
and I had to spend the 4 days of Christmas here and then go back there so that I can get a surgery right after it, and also spend the first the Sylvester in the hospital then. But I mentally I was like, I didn't know if I really wanted to go on like that. I was
Yeah.
really tough. And but what kept me alive is that you just wait 5 minutes, and then it's a little bit better. and
Yeah.
and I realized a short while ago, I had my 3.5 months check after being in remission. Like cancer clear. Yeah, I'm totally cancer free for the last 3.5 years now. And I went there and I got a CT scan and my blood works and everything. And usually then the oncologist calls me, and each time is like he jumps at the roof because I'm one of his only patients that is always positive when I come. So he said, so I said, well, oh, what's the deal? So yeah, you had some stones in the kidneys, they're all gone.
Ugh. So what?
Ah!
So what did you do? So you're saying that it was all mindset? Is that what you're telling
Yeah,
me?
yeah. No, it was not all mindset, but mindset played a very big role because I didn't make it worse than it was through thinking
Yeah.
of the past experience or through fearing the future.
Right.
So I was always optimistic in the future, and also I took a decision. Well, a
Hmm.
friend of mine called me in 2018 and said, "Look, Dominic, I know you got cancer, and I really you need to ask yourself what you want, and to you want to stay and to make it or not." And I
Hmm.
looked at it and said, "Yeah, you're right. What do I want? And do I want to die as a hero? It's a great way. Why not? Or do I want to say?" And in my life, I also believe that when we die, it's just the body that dies, but the soul, I, as a soul, keep going, gonna take next body, and then life goes on.
Right.
But I was thinking, yeah, but when I die now, I was like 49 at that time. So now I'm 53. When I die now, I start again from scratch, and I have again to go through these 20 years where you're a baby. Everybody tells you what to do. You can't have your own ideas. You've got bad control from your parents and everything. And I don't want to go through this again. No, it's too early.
Well, that is
So
very funny, but
that
oh
was
my.
what made me decide. Say, no, I want to have good time now. I want to use it. It's too early for me. So I took a really clear decision that I was not gonna play the victim, and I'm gonna fight whatever happens.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's
And
what you did. Yeah.
and that's what I did. Yeah,
You
and
know.
I've always, sometimes it's tough because you've got goals. Like you want to stay up in a day, especially when I was doing bad. There was days I would stay in the bed and I would look at my office, at my desk, and I would see some invoices that had to be paid or whatever, things like that. And I knew I'm so weak. Today's not the day. I can't even pay an invoice. I'm gonna stay in the bed, and that's okay like that.
Well,
And you know,
so let me ask you. I know that we went. You were in China with your daughter, and so what happened with that business that you were trying to create with your daughter? I mean, did that ever happen? I know it was a business you were trying to create on Amazon. Did that ever happen, or did you
yeah,
just
yeah,
get
the business
better?
happens, but it was tough because, oh yeah, there was some more problems because basically we were in China in October, November 2019. Maybe that rings a
Hmm.
bell. This is exactly the moment that COVID started, and we had
Right.
many people from Wuhan at that time in Canton.
Oh
And I
wow.
remember some of our friends got a very, very bad flu, the worst flu they ever got as they went back home to the US. So it was already moving around, just people wouldn't know. And I didn't get it. I was lucky. My daughter either. But
You were lucky.
so
Yeah.
when we came back, we started to work at a concept of backpacks. You want me to show the backpacks?
Yeah. So your office was the backpack, right?
Yeah, we wanted to sell backpacks. We had a
Oh,
very
you were
special
going to
backpack.
sell backpacks. Oh,
If
okay.
if,
Yes,
if you want,
yes,
I can
yes. They were
show
paper
them.
backpacks or
Yeah, yeah.
something. That's what
Just
you
let
were
me.
going to sell on Amazon, right? Yeah. Yeah. We're going to see his backpacks that he and his daughter had created because his intent was to build this business for his daughter because he obviously thought he was going to die and he was going to leave this business to his daughter. So these are the backpacks that they created. They were like paper. Can you explain to us what kind of backpacks they are? They're very kind of very useful looking. Dominique, are they made of paper or material? Oh, I can't hear you. No, still can't hear you. Ooh, I hope we didn't. Oh,
Sorry, I got it.
okay.
I
Now,
got it.
now, now I hear you. Yeah. So these,
So,
so were these successful or not on Amazon?
well, the thing is, so this is when I also have in gray, and I also have it in black. Yeah,
I want one of
and
those.
we developed them ourselves. But the thing is, we started to work at it exactly the moment where the lockdowns came. So we were pretty much more or less ready in March 2020. In
Oh,
March 2020, everybody stayed home. Nobody needed a backpack anymore. So it was not
oh,
the moment to launch your product.
oh my God.
So what I did then, I always find new ways. So we had lots of contacts with Chinese manufacturers from Canton.
Mm-hmm.
So then I say, okay, people need masks, people need gowns, people need,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, the masks, the gowns, some head protection, all the things, the gloves. And I said, I can get that. I know who does this in China. I got contacts there. So I organized all my contacts and started to sell some PPE.
Wow.
And it was really amazing because with the net and everything, within a few weeks, I had a team of 8 guys. We were working together. We didn't know each other, and we had a complete structure. And every one of us was in charge of different things, you know. And at the end, we had three. Well, we had 3 contracts for a total worth of $2 billion.
Oh my God.
We would have been each of us multimillionaires. Like I've got 10 millions or more. But none of these contracts, although they were signed, became anything.
Oh,
So
really? Oh,
yeah. So but at the end, I spent like 8 months working like mad, 20 hours per day with people from all around the world, and not sleeping and in my state. But well, I made maybe 50,000 or whatever, but from very hard work. And then at some point, I said, okay, now it's time to go back to the backpacks. So we finished the backpacks and we invested in them. We paid them. We had them shipped over. And then we started basically at the end of 2020, started to sell them. And somehow it worked. But I realized people don't know this material and they don't know that it's very strong. You can't break it. That's, it's just, it's,
indestructible. Yeah.
it's indestructible. But because it's paper, people think maybe it will not work.
Right. It's weak. Yeah.
So um, but it's steel resistant, it's water resistant, it's snow resistant, it's whatever you want. It resists everything. It's a great material and it's biodegradable.
So where did
And
it,
there's
where did that go?
no.
Where did that
uh,
business go?
So
That
what
the
happened
business
is
with the
that
backpack.
I realized I need more money to do some promotion for it so that it starts. So and then I did a new business plan and we got $50,000 from the bank. And so it's all my creation basically. And oh, cool. Yeah, that's nice. Sure. If you want some backpacks, I have some
Yeah.
left. They're really cool. I love these, but I just can't sell them because each time I sell one, I lose money on it. And the reason is I need a lot of promotion budget to sell them. So at the end, we raised the sales a lot, but and we sold really many in 2021, 22. But each time I would theoretically make 50% profit,
Right.
but it's the money I needed to promote it. So at the end, I had no profit. So only Amazon was making business, and I wasn't. And then I had to take maybe the hardest decision that I ever took. And it was now in November 2022, and we looked at it with my daughter, and we were seeing how much cash we were burning every month. And of course, I had to find the cash all the time so that we could feed Amazon, yeah,
Yeah.
and not making money. And at some point, we looked at it and said, "Look, we have tried now to create two different new products. Each time, at some point on the process, we stopped because we realized it didn't work. The last product was we've been working at it from February to September, and the moment we were ready to order it, the market has broken down to a third of what it was in February. We
Mm.
won't make money of it if we launch it now anyway. So there is no way, and I don't have the money to try another one. So and I started in between also because I was doing better and my health was better. Some dentists contacted me and asked me if I could coach them. And coaching
Wow.
has always been my love in and
Right.
I at first I thought I would never ever be able to coach again, but now I started to coach and I realized it works. At first I did only 2 hours coaching per Zoom, and then I started to do 4 hours in person, and it worked. And then one day in person it worked, then 2 days it worked, and I was like, I'm okay, I can do it. So I shifted back. I created a new structure for my coachings, and now that it was working, I decided with my daughter, okay, we stop Amazon for good. So we stopped in November, but it was, as an entrepreneur, you only make a loss the moment you say that's it.
Yeah.
Because as long as you haven't said that, you could theoretically make it back.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it was really hard. It was to take the decision. Okay, that's not gonna be okay. That's a loss, and that's sad because I'm not the kind of guy that gives up. But in that case, it's just an entrepreneurial decision. I have the other business which I love much more, which I can also much better, which is coaching people, and I want to do that, and we that's it. So
But
now,
you had your health back, Dominique. You had your health back
yeah,
by then.
exactly. So on the there are different sides, different ways to look at it. On the
Right.
financial side, it's a clear loss, and I'm not happy with it. But seriously, it gave me a game.
Hmm.
It kept me busy, and to have a reason to stay up and work every single day. And even some days I couldn't work more than 1 hour because I was like really in bad
But you
shape.
had a
But
purpose. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had the purpose, and it was all for my daughter,
All
and
for your
and
God.
and for us,
Big
and
why.
uh, and that's what kept me alive at the end. So okay, possibly I lost 150,000 in the thing, but at the end it saved my life. So I could also have put it in drugs or whatever, treatments. But now I'm here and I'm back, and I'm stronger than ever.
Wow.
So, and that's the thing, and I'm doing exactly what I love now. Now I
You,
have two businesses. One of them is coaching the dentist to grow their business, and the other one, which came on top, which was not planned, is doing health and life coaching for cancer patients. Because
wow.
I myself learned so much last 10 years. I've also been a moderator of a big cancer support group on Facebook in the US for the last 2.5 years. So I see like 100 new cases coming in every day. Many
Wow.
of them want a consultation from me. So I'm really fit on that as well. And so now, and I love it because it fits together. And
Yeah.
now I realized I had a problem because like on my Facebook page I have both always. Sometimes I have post about helping cancer patients, and sometimes post about helping dentists. And of course, when a dentist comes and he sees stuff for cancer patients, I'm at the wrong place. When a cancer patient comes and he sees stuff for dental business, I'm in the wrong place. But I it was like kind of competing for me, and I was not happy with it. And then I realized, not a long time ago, like 2 weeks ago, I realized it's not competing at all. It's all goes in the same direction. Look at it. It's so
Right.
obvious, like an elephant in the room, and you don't notice it. It's all about healthiness, about more from life, enjoy more life, and live
Yeah.
more. Yeah, because
Right.
when I
Right.
help dentists grow, basically what happens is they have an impact in their community. They make sure that people have a better health,
Right.
overall through
Right.
the oral health. It's also linked to heart attack and cancer and a lot of things from the mouth
Yeah.
destroy the body. And also then they do nice smile, so they also do something for the mind, help people being more more happy in life. So that's
You
what
are
I'm doing.
amazing.
Yeah, and now it is actually I realized it's all for the same purpose. And now what I do is that my main business is helping dentists grow, and they give me the money that helps me fund my charity for the cancer patients, because I can't ask for the same money from a cancer patient.
Right.
So
Right.
when I ask for 2,500 euro for one day from the dentist, I will ask maybe 350 euro for 4 weeks from a cancer patient, because if
Right.
they can't afford it, I can't ask more. I need to ask something because they have to have some. It has value what I give. It's
Right.
has actually tremendous value. They get it from nowhere in the world,
Yeah.
but. Uh, so I have to ask for something also so they commit and they do what I tell them.
Hmm.
I don't want to ask for more. So basically, my dental business finances my coaching charity for cancer patients, and that fits perfectly together now.
Right. Right. That's amazing. Your story is amazing. Dominic, I just want to acknowledge our listeners here. We had Shika who joined us, and she said, "Hi, I'm so glad to meet. I could join." Esmeralda joined us now. Esmeralda is one who is also into the health business, and so she
So
was
Esmeralda,
saying,
I can tell you, I am much much more farther than just a Gerson therapy. The Gerson therapy is one of 50 things that I consider as a good thing, but it's not enough, and it may help some people, but not all. And sometimes you need to do more. But I will use the same thing as well. So you
right.
don't worry. I'm aware of the market.
Okay, great. And then Ashika said, "This is an incredible interview, so inspiring. Both of you are amazing." Then we have our dear friend Debbie Prediger, who also says, "Another great interview." Shika says, "Dominic, I'm waiting for your book. Please write one. Your smile and face and happiness is infectious." And
Oh, that's
so,
great. Love it. It's
and
funny
then
because
she wants
everybody
to
asks
order
me.
your backpack.
Yeah.
And then there's another note from Shika. It's midnight. It was because she's in India,
Oh
and so
wow.
she's going to catch up once she wakes up. And she loves this. It was worth it being seen to see this in India. Lucy, thank you for bringing him on for this interview. And we have a Facebook user that says, "Hello, Lucy and Dominique." Facebook user, go to StreamYard, click so they can give them permission to use your name. So, Dominic, yeah, it's just a fascinating story. Now, you've helped dental businesses define their personal brand and generate an abundance of new patients, and also achieve financial freedom. What are some of the key principles or strategies that you have consistently led to get these remarkable results? And how could
Well,
maybe
that's
our
a very
audience
good
apply
question.
them?
Because that's really my job is to make businesses boom,
Yeah,
and but in a way that they have a life. So they want to get financial freedom and they want to get time freedom. And very often when people work in the business, it eats them up and they have no time freedom. Yeah,
right.
even if you got the finances, which not always the case, but you have no time, which is not good. So there has to be some kind of work-life balance. And so at the start, when I started, I did a lot of leadership training and like really manager coaching. But I realized it takes a lot of time, and sometimes I don't have the money to pay for a coach for a while. So then I shifted this and I started to first have them make money very fast, as much as possible. So first
Okay.
the marketing, make sure they get lots of new, in this case it's patients, but basically new customers. And then once they were in the shop, they had to sell. So I did sales training. So I made sure they could raise their income like mad. And then they had the money to pay me to do more. So then we would build up the team. We will hire great people because we could afford to pay for them. And then we will also build up their leadership and the skills. And we will put in some tools so that they could scale and they could grow and grow and grow, but still having a life.
Hmm.
And that's what I do now. And now I tell you what, there's something very new, which is AI,
Oh, AI,
artificial
I know
intelligence.
we're using it in the launch lab, and it's a big. I mean, it's a big savior. It saves you
It's
time. And, yeah, I know.
crazy, crazy. And now, I used to have these four pillars I just told you, but now I added AI on top, and it's actually the first pillar I do, because everything we do for the rest will depend upon what we do with AI.
Exactly.
So right now I have a new policy, and it is AI first, which
Uh,
means in any single job you've got to do, you always have to ask yourself, what could AI do for me in this field, and could it do it better, faster than I do it myself?
exactly. Exactly.
And that's, it's gonna come everywhere.
Yeah.
I still see people who are kind of reluctant to say, "Eh, AI." Ooh."
There's a
I
fear.
tell you
There's
what,
a fear
it's
out there. Yeah.
just a matter of consciousness. Once they will realize, it's like when Google came, sometimes, don't talk to me about internet. Don't give me Well, you can't work with internet. Or when smartphone came, the first iPhone, yeah, it's a fad.
Yeah.
I don't need
I
smartphone.
know.
Yeah, no, and now you don't have anybody living on Earth without smartphone. You're kind of born with smartphone. Yeah,
I know.
and
You just have to have an open minded. I want to ask you. Um, fear and uncertainty really often hold people back from pursuing their dreams. It didn't hold you back at all. So, especially when they want to start a business online. So, how did you navigate that fear and overcome obstacles on that journey of yours? I mean, you must have had fear knocking at your door every minute of the day. What advice would you give to those who find themselves, stuck or hesitant to take the next step? What's that wonderful advice you could give them?
well, for me, that's very simple. When it gets uncomfortable, it's exactly the next step you need to take.
Ah,
That's where you're gonna grow. The more uncomfortable, the biggest growth potential you've got. So that's also how I handle myself. And I'm doing steadily uncomfortable stuff, and that's, I train myself to do so. And even like, on a, look at me. That's me now. Yeah, and I'm very strong. And 4 months ago, 4 years ago, I had only the skin on the bones. The cancer had eaten all my muscles. It was all
wow.
gone. Now, for the last 2.5 years, I've been going to the gym twice a week, and I don't go for half an hour. I start at 4 and I come back home. It's 10 p.m.
Wow.
So I do everything. I do heavy weights. I do some of kind of training. I do the all the different stuff you can have in the gym, and then I run 30 minutes or 40, and then I do sauna, and then I go swimming, and I do all that twice a week. And each single time, I want to top myself. So I would do 1 more minute. I would raise the speed on
Wow.
the on the treadmill. I would raise the amount of kilos I weigh. Something has to be better than the time before, and that's
Yeah.
how I manage
Measure
it, to
yourself.
always
Yeah.
challenge myself, and to put my mindset in a thing, always challenging yourself, never stay in your comfort zone.
Right.
And that's the only, that's really what brings me further. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to acknowledge our Facebook user is Victoria McRae. So she's sorry, but she can't get the StreamYard now. So, and also Denise, thank you, Denise, for being with us. You've been here from the beginning. Thank you both for this very inspiring interview. Namaste. The spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Thank you. Thank you, Denise. I want to ask you, kind of one more, a couple of things. You go from your deathbed, to becoming a beacon of inspiration, really. So, what are some of the valuable lessons you learned along the way to help us, achieve our dreams, just like you do, to make a
Yeah.
meaningful impact, in our chosen fields?
First, there are a few things you need. And somebody, I was talking to one of the biggest banks for dentists here, and
Hmm.
who do the factoring for dentists,
Mm-hmm.
and which means you send your invoices to them and they pay the money to the dentist and they get the money from the patients. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they play with billions of euros every month. And this guy, we're talking about what is an entrepreneur. I asked him, I said, how do you define entrepreneur? He said, well, yeah, like dentists have a problem with this because there is a big difference between being independent and being an entrepreneur. I said, yeah,
Right.
it's true. And what would you say what it takes to be an entrepreneur? And I told him, the first thing it takes is a vision.
A
You need to
vision.
know where you want to go, and you need to know why you want to go. Yeah. And I always had this vision, which is I want to talk, I want to tell people good tools, to teach them good tools so that they can raise the level of their life, have a
Right.
more joyful life, and have more from life. And that is my mission. And this is also what makes me happy. And this is what I can. So and then I have the vision, but it's not enough. You can have the best vision of the world if you're not working on it, it won't go. So the next thing is you need to take a decision that whatever happens, you're gonna work at it. And the next thing is you need to go at it and never ever give up whatever comes up,
Never.
because you
Never
will
give up.
have stops. Life is just giving you stops all the time. So what
Right.
the difference is really this persistence, this resilience, this ability to never give up. And every
Right.
single day, I have some goals and things I want to do, and I know I might not be able to do them all. But then the next day, I check, okay, which one is not done? I put it again as a new goal, and the day starts again.
So you don't beat yourself up about it. You just go,
Never. Well, that's one of the things that I'm happy and lucky to not have to do, because I did a lot of personal work and I have nothing in my head that tells me, "Oh, you're so silly. Oh, you've screwed it again. Oh my, look at you. Look at what you've done again. Oh my God." I used to have that too.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's gone, and because it's gone, I don't have to spend any kind of energy towards this because it's not constructive anyway.
Right.
So I look, okay, well, I screwed this yesterday. Well, that's true. I did. Okay, so that's on the table for today.
Right, right. So no, that is so important. It's just unbelievable. I mean, your story. Reflecting back on your journey here, your battle with cancer and whatnot, and the incredible accomplishments that you've really achieved since being on that deathbed. What would you say to your past self during those darkest moments when all hope seemed lost?
It's interesting because actually I'm quite proud of my past self,
Hmm.
because my past self did quite a good job so that I'm here now talking to you. And so uh, it handled it quite good.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Went through.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is, what I had, I don't even have. That's the only thing I don't have to say it because that's what it did. And the thing, is, maybe what mattered most to me was hope.
Mm.
There is
Hope.
always hope, and sometimes it's just 1 millimeter difference,
Yeah.
1 millimeter. But just because of this millimeter, you see you can progress.
Hmm.
And you see, Tony Robbins always talks about progress, and he says progress is happiness.
Yes, he does say
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
but who has asked himself why is it so? Why is progress happiness? You know, that's a good question, isn't it?
That is a good question. So,
And
what
I
is your
found it for
answer?
myself. I've got an answer for it for myself. And my answer is because what we all really thrive for is in some way some kind of permanent development which goes towards eternity. So we want to survive eternally. That's what we
Hmm.
want. That's why we marry, why we have kids, because even if we die, something of us will survive.
Hmm.
you know and that's why we try to do big things and to have some kind of legacy when we go. It's all about somehow surviving. This is,
Yeah.
gives us a meaning, and each time we work on the future, each time with a little bit of progress on a project we have, we kind of coming forward a little bit more towards eternity, towards survival. And
Right.
that's why progress is so key, and progress is happiness, because progress is a how you call it, progress is a promise for eternity.
For eternity. Wow, that's beautiful. Progress that is a promise for eternity. That's really well put. I love that. That is great.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to, I know how busy you are. So, how can my audience contact you? The tickler down below says that, your business coaching website is by the way, folks, don't try to reproduce this. What I'm going to do is take all this information and after this interview, put it in the comments below so that if you want to reach Dominique, and have more conversation with this awesome man, you'll have several ways of contacting him. So there's going to be a direct link with WhatsApp and not to worry. Do you have is it something that I didn't ask you that you have a burning desire to talk about before you go? I want to know why you laugh all the way through this process. I'm sure. What makes you laugh? Because your laugh is so infectious. What's your laugh all of? Is it a nervous laugh or is it what is that?
I think I don't know. I think it's really it's in me. I can't do it another way. I'm not a. Well, sometimes I'm very serious too, and also when I coach, sometimes I can be very serious, and sometimes when I point on really problems, I might be really tough.
Hmm.
But I can see also that toughness doesn't have to be accompanied with seriousness.
Uh,
That's two different things. You can be crazy tough, and you can be really funny at the same time,
yeah,
and or loving and or smiling. It is there's different things. So
absolutely.
and that's the in this case I didn't do much about it. Maybe I have to thank whatever my parents, God, something, I don't know, but it's the way I was born.
Yeah,
So and that helped me a lot, definitely, because sometimes the ability to laugh, wow, it can solve so much. Sometimes I wake up in the morning or during the night, I have a dream and it's so funny and I'm laughing out loud and it wakes me up.
that's very funny. Yeah, laughter is infectious, and laughter is really very healing, isn't it? It's very healing.
I couldn't sleep again after that. I was laughing so much.
And that's very funny.
This happens quite a lot. But yeah, so that's my way. Basically we know that laughing also has a way of it's a way to process things, and
Yes.
that's possibly my way to process things, and it helps me. For some people it's not really real that I'm laughing all the time, but for me it's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dominique, I want to thank you for your time here. Thank you very much. And I also want to thank my audience. I certainly want to thank Victoria for being here, Denise for being here, Shika for also being here, Debbie, Esmeralda. Thank you for joining us. And I will put the information down below in the comments about how you can contact Dominique. And Dominique, I want to thank you very much for being here,
You're very welcome. Thank you
and
for
and and
interviewing me.
and we are going to keep in touch because I want to know what the rest of the story is for sure.
Definitely, I'd love, and I tell you what, if you know other people who want to interview me, I want to speak, I want to give the good word out. I want to give
Absolutely
hope to people. I want to
right.
tell them, keep going, believe in your dreams, and keep working at it. Be relentless, never stop, never give up.
Never, never, never give up. Those famous words of what's his name in England. The name escapes me. World War II. What was his name?
Oh, Churchill. Forward.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. I mean, when he gave that speech at a commencement exercise, he got up there and all he said was never, never, never give up.
Yes, that's so true.
So it is so powerful. So thank you again, Dominique. Thank you to my audience, and I shall see you next week. Also, if you are at all interested in figuring out how you can supercharge your marketing success, join our program. As you know, we're at the point of automating online with AI also. So you can
Awesome.
simply reach out to me. Okay. Bye for now. Ciao.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you.